Good morning. How are you doing today? All right, I'll take those scattered woos. Awesome. So we've got Sherry on lyrics today. Whoop, whoop. The lyrics are still going to be to your immediate right on this projected wall here. Well, the wall is not projected. The wall is real. There will be an image projected on the wall. We've got Seth on cajon today. How about that for your spirit? Welcome back, Alicia on bass. Over here, we've got Peter on electric guitar, taking you to the stratosphere. And we've got Matt on saxophone. Hi, I'm Gianna. I'll be singing and playing acoustic guitar. If you would like, now is the time when you can stand and sing with us. All the songs are going to be familiar today. If it is some care you need, come and cast your cares on. And if you need a listening ear, I wanna hear the whole story, dear. Tell me everything, don't leave nothing out. I'll be waiting on you, come as you are. You don't have to be lonely, you can count on me. Come as you are, you don't have to be lonely, you can count on me. I've been telling you for some time now, you're not a burden or weighing me down. So fight that voice that says you're on your own. You don't have to do this thing alone. No, no. Tell me everything, don't leave nothing out. I'll be waiting on you, come as you are. You don't have to be lonely, you can count on me. Come as you are, you don't have to be lonely, you can count on me. Come as you are, broken and bruised, hurt and you've been fleeced, tired and confused. Lay it all down, bring it on up to someone who loves you. You don't have to be lonely, no, no, no. You don't have to be lonely, come as you are. to the hills. This my evening song, where my help comes from. This is the gravity of love, just as the moon follows the sun. You're all around me, you're holding everything. This is the hope of every land, just as the universe expands. Your love is reaching, you're holding everything. ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. You will be praised. You will be praised. With angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised. You will be praised. With angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised. You will be praised. With angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised. You will be praised. With angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. And that's why I sing your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips. Your praise will never be on my lips, never be on my lips.
Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Woo! Give it up for the band, please. We should do that every week. Like you waited until I said give it up for the band and then you hit the chord. That was cool, right? I want to shout out these guys. I don't know if you remember last week I promised you like a big loud band with a horn section and Spanish songs, and obviously we had to audible. I think our band lineup and our set list changed like 3 times this week. Tis the season to get sick, everybody, so be safe out there. Sickness hit like 3 different people in the band, so shout out to them for like being flexible, rolling with the punches. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Special shout out to Seth for doing Cajon. We were joking this morning about how good he is at it, and he's like, hey, that thing you don't do, do it better. So he doesn't play drums at all, and he just came up here and like played drums. So I think that's amazing. You're amazing. Don't trip. You're all amazing. You're also amazing. Thanks for being here. Hi, I'm Jarrett. Thanks. Announcements. 2 announcements. First, if you don't know, now you know, we like to hang out after services. Today we are going to Love Food Central, which I believe is a vegan place, right? True. And it is which direction? and it is totally walkable. So after church today, we're going to break down in here really quick. We have to do a couple extra things because it doesn't normally look like an enchanted library up here. They're doing Pinocchio performances. Shout out to the opera, who is awesome. So we're going to break down a little bit extra after today, and then we're going to head over to Love Food to hang out. Please join if you want to hang out. Announcement number 2, as I mentioned, 'tis the season to get sick, and we could use a few extra volunteers around here. If you like what we do, if you're here often, we would love to have a little bit of help in tech, in kids, welcome, greeting, pastor. I mean, I'm sure Hannah could take another day off, right? Yeah. I just want you to just pray really hard and remember that we don't have to do this. We get to do this. And that is a joke for my evangelical days. I'm not going to shame you into volunteering. We like to honor our volunteers because I know your lives are crazy busy. So if you do want to help out, it's like once a month. And if you need to take a break for a while, it's totally cool. We could just use a little help getting things done. Cool? Cool. I think that's all I got. Did I do everything, Hannah? Did I do good? A+. Yes. Okay. I know I called the band amazing and I called you guys amazing, but the most amazing of all, Pastor Hannah. Woo!
Good morning. Y'all know it's Thanksgiving in 4 days. Who's cooking? 1, 2, 4 people, 5 people. I'm cooking because I don't trust anyone to give me good Thanksgiving food in my family. I know my family's not watching, so I'm going to talk crap about them. Do they cook delicious holiday fare? No. Will I trust anyone to cook the turkey or the ham or the mashed potatoes or the mac and cheese or the green beans or the chocolate cake? No. Now, this week we're going to talk about something I think will be pretty darn useful since we'll be hanging out with people we might not agree with or even like. Of course we love them. But I think actually, like, this is the marriage advice I give to everyone. And they're like, should we get married? I'm like, do you like them? Because love will get you through the hard stuff, but like will get you through, like, toothpaste spatter on the counter, socks next to the coffee table, indefinitely for the rest of your life, cabinet doors, but like you have to actually enjoy spending time with them. Like I love my family very much. Do I want to spend every minute of my day with them? No. Okay? So you may be with people this week who will do something, I'm just going to say the phrase, and you will probably have heard it. Speak the truth in love to you about something. But in true different church fashion, we're going to talk about ourselves. We're not going to talk about how awful everyone else is and how they need to do better with their lives. We're going to talk about the one thing we have control over, which is us. So this is the fundamental question we need to consider today. Is the life of faith about being right, or is it about loving people no matter what? So I have gathered as a child that speaking the truth in love generally means speaking the truth and maybe doing it in a loving way, if you can manage it. And many of us have been on the receiving end of those conversations, like really misguided attempts to somehow fix our lives. And plenty of us have also started those conversations in our lives. And truth and love seem to be like this, but in the Bible, that's inaccurate, okay? So there's no tension between truth and love in the Bible because the highest form of truth is wisdom and the highest form of wisdom is love. Jesus cares about the way you live your life and not the facts in your head. I think most church is like, we have this like vending machine theory about facts. We're like, if we just know more, then we can fix more, and then we'll have a better world. The real problem is we just don't know enough, right? But Christianity is about living a life of love and not getting facts right, okay? So 2 Peter says this. You probably have heard this verse. For this reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness, knowledge, and to knowledge, self-control, and to self-control, perseverance, and to perseverance, godliness, and to godliness, mutual affection, and to mutual affection, love. Delightful. This is the evangelical translation of this verse. Make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness, knowledge, and to knowledge, more knowledge, and to more knowledge, even more knowledge, and to even more knowledge, mastery of the Bible, and to mastery of the Bible, control, and to control, teaching everyone else the Bible as you know it using your obviously superior intellect. Knowledge should be a stepping stone to other qualities. The goal is actually love, not knowing things. Paul argues similarly in 1 Corinthians 13, where he says, if I speak in tongues of men and angels, but I don't have love, I'm a clanging cymbal. It's too bad we don't have like a, it's probably good because I'd blow your eardrums out. But speaking the truth in love should mean you've earned the right to share our opinions and values with other people. Now, this is the kicker, okay? If we have not demonstrated real and tangible love to someone, we cannot tell the truth, no matter what is coming out of our mouth. You can give your opinion, which may or may not be correct. We can throw facts at people. But if we're not like in love with the person in front of us, and I don't mean like, oh, like if you have not demonstrated your love for this person in real and practical ways, then you're not telling the truth as the Bible presents truth, no matter what you're saying, no matter even if it's factually correct. It's not true. Somehow, I think we've come to believe that it's our duty to tell people our opinions about their moral decisions and about their beliefs. Because typing what we stand for is really easy, and loving people is really hard. I don't know if you've met, like, people. Overall, 3 out of 10, tops. I'm including myself. I'm not calling you out. True love does not say, I told you so. Oh, I love that one, though. I especially love to use it on my 3-year-old. True love says, you always have a place. True love does not say, let me tell you my opinion of your choices for the 10th time. It says, you know the difference between right and wrong. You're an adult. I trust you. Getting it right is not about knowing facts. It's about humility and respecting other people's beliefs. Now, I think we use the phrase speaking the truth in love, or at least this is how it used when I was growing up, because we have a belief that people will change when we tell them that they are living their life incorrectly. And maybe you have heard this view. If you were about to drink poison, wouldn't you want someone to come and tell you that they were sure what you were about to drink is poison and warn you against taking it? Wouldn't you want them to save your life? Have you heard this metaphor before? Yes. Yes, the answer is yes, I would want someone to tell me if I was drinking poison. That would be loving, right? A loving thing to do. Hey, don't drink that, you will die. But here's a question, follow-up question. Would it be loving to keep telling them again and again and again, even though they are grown adults and have decided for themselves that it is not in fact poison and have drank it 100 times and not died? No, that's not loving. That's coercive and disrespectful. We have to respect people's choices. Usually what's going on is we're just uncomfortable with another person's choice or another person's belief, and we confuse that discomfort with our conscience. And people can feel that. They can feel our discomfort like tangibly, even if the words out of our mouth are like, I'm telling you this because I love you. Or, I just want you to know where I'm coming from. Or I just want you to see things the way I see them. But what about the people in your lives that you really do love and you really do want to have a relationship where you can share your opinions, right? I think most people don't want to be duped by their own delusions. Like, we want to have an honest, open relationship with people. The key move, you just have to remember, you don't call it telling them the truth. You call it telling them your opinion. Just a small word change. The reality is that most of us are very insecure and we're very sensitive. So anything anyone tells us that portrays us in a negative light or brings up something that we haven't dealt with from our past or reminds us of something that someone told us once upon a time or maybe even makes us feel a certain way because they're just telling it loudly. Like, you could say, I love you to me, and if you said it at the top of your lungs, I will cry. You could be like, I love you so much, you're my favorite person. And I'd be like, why are you yelling at me? Like, we have to keep in mind, most people they're not responding to what we're saying, but how we are saying it. Okay, so if someone's like, blah, 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 whatever you disagree with, and your face is doing this, it's not going to work, okay? Telling people our opinion takes a lot more work than most of us are willing to put into our relationships. And when it comes to our families, for some reason, I think we've forgotten a lot of times that we still have to put in the work. We're like, they're going to love me no matter what, or we're just going to be at odds forever. So I don't have to be polite. I don't have to watch this when I'm talking. Telling people our opinion, we just like blurt it out whenever we feel like it, especially when emotions are high. And then we try to defend our statements with justifications, and we're like, well, I'm just telling the truth. It's not my fault people can't handle the truth. I don't know why they're so sensitive. Well, I don't know why we're so sensitive. I mean, I do. I'm very sensitive. I know why. Do I want to fix it? No. How do you share your opinion with someone else? You have to know where you're coming from. Like, are you coming from a good place? This is how you know. Number one, are we being a martyr? Like, are we starting something just so they can disagree with us? So that we can then go to our friends and be like, I can't believe they're so dumb. They're so bigoted. They won't listen to me at all. No one wants to hear what I have to say. I can't believe I'm having this conversation with my mom or my aunt or my friend or whatever for the 100th time, and they just won't understand where I'm coming from. And I'm like, why are you bringing it up? What is it doing for you? We have to also not be righteous. So by that, what I mean is, it feels very good to convince people we are right because it makes us feel that we do not have to look at our own self-doubt. I have found that the more important it is for me to convince someone of something, the more I'm actually trying to convince myself of the same thing. You cannot convince people that you are okay. You cannot convince people that the way you live your life or the choices you make or the beliefs that you have or the career path you take or the person you're in a relationship with or whether you want to have kids or not, like any subject that is touchy. You cannot convince people that you're okay. You just have to be okay and let them witness it. And maybe they'll be convinced by that, but all the words in the world are not going to make, anyone believe that you're okay when you're just trying to add words to it. It also doesn't end on me loving other people very well when I'm trying to talk them into something. I love arguing with people. It's like a favorite pastime. I don't call it arguing, obviously. I call it debating because rebrand. That makes me not a jerk. I like to debate, and there's a place for that, okay, in like academic settings or in a setting with like other people who are peers who have consented to debating with you or arguing with you about stuff. But most of the time when we're arguing, we're just like on a mission to prove that we're smart and we know stuff that's worth knowing, and that other people are like, should receive our enlightened wisdom about life, which makes us superior, which makes them defensive, which makes the whole thing spiral out of control. So we can't be a martyr. We can't be righteous. We also can't be a savior. Like going into a conversation trying to fix someone is just as harmful as going into a conversation to be right. And usually we have pure motives for this one. Like we genuinely want to help. We genuinely want to lift up someone or get them out of the situation that they're in, right? But my need to be helpful often outweighs the other person's need to be heard. So really what happens in that situation is I'm getting my emotional needs met by being helpful, but they're not getting their emotional needs met by being loved. And those are two different things. I think a lot of us have gotten really good at telling other people the truth and really bad at ourselves the truth, telling ourselves the truth. And that, Jesus said, is the problem of the Pharisees. It's just easier that way, though, right? It's just easier to pretend we have it all together. It's easier to tell people where they're messing up. It's easier to tell people that whatever they think about politics or religion or family or anything is wrong. That's not walking in truth. That's not telling the truth in love. Being authentic is not an excuse to lack empathy, kindness, and compassion. Richard Rohr says the truth will set you free, but first it will make you miserable. It's my favorite. How do you know if your heart's in the right place? We want the best for someone. like truly. We want someone to feel accepted for who they are. We want them to feel heard. We want them to know that we're sharing our thoughts because we love them. We value our relationship over getting them to agree with our opinion. The last two are really hard. I feel like we can get a handle on those ones, right? But this one, are we willing to continue having a relationship with them, even if they reject our opinion? Do we respect their choices as theirs to make? And a lot of times this comes up in family dynamics because your parents are used to telling you how to fix things in your life, which is their job, right? Like at one time, you couldn't drink out of a cup. And they were like, 2 hands. And you still were like, ugh. At one time, you could not pour milk without getting it all over the floor. At one time, you could not do a load of laundry. Some of you cannot still. At one time, like all of these things, at one time you didn't know how to go on a date with someone and you had to like decompress to whoever raised you and they were like, is this person crazy? I don't know. Am I thinking? And they are used to fixing things for you. So when you become an adult and you are like, I'm going to do things myself, which you've probably been saying since you were a teenager, they just weren't listening. They were like, no, you can do these 3 things, but you live in our house. Now we're adults. We're like, I want you to respect me as an adult. Last year around Thanksgiving, we had our dear friend Aaron up here who is a mental health professional, and he was taking questions like mental health Q&A, and one of them was like, how do I get my parents to treat me like an adult? And he said, well, first you have to act like one. Which the cool kids, I think, are calling that a sick burn. You have to act like an adult. But at some point, when you're in relationship with people who are used to telling you how to live and used to telling you what to do, or you are the person who is used to telling someone else what to do with their life, there has to be an adjustment of the scales. Glennon Doyle says it's when she made a decision in her life that her mom totally was like losing her mind over. It was at that point that they went from a mother and a daughter to 2 mothers. I have had this experience in my life. I know many of you will have it or have had already. There's a point in your life with your parents or whoever raised you where you have to assert yourself and be an adult. And your parents will be like, oh no. I have about 20 years before that happens, probably. Maybe less. Nova's a very intense person. Maybe I have 3 years before that's happening. I was telling Rachel and Sarah this morning, when she was still in the crib, I went in to get her up one time from her nap, and she said, don't touch me. And I said, well, I guess you're stuck in the crib then, because there's no way for me this isn't going to work. And she goes, and then allowed me to take her out, and then was like, okay, the end. If you're on the receiving end of that, it feels terrible, okay? I'm sure I'm going to hate it. Talk to me in 15 years when I'm like, yes, you have to let your children be adults and make their own choices. And you're going to remind me of that, and I'm going to be like, boo! What do you mean let her make her own choices? She makes terrible choices. But I want the same thing from my parents. I want them to let me be a person, right? But the thing that I will say about my parents is, like, everybody has their faults. Everybody was raised the way they were raised. But they have been there when the stuffing hits the fan. The Thanksgiving stuffing. When it hits the fan, my parents have always been there. And I know that that's not the case for everyone, and I wish that it was. But that doesn't mean we've never disagreed. And we have, right? We have to have good motives. And there will be a point in your life where you have to stick up for yourself. Not because you're angry or because you have to convince them of your way of living, but because you are a person and you want your adult choices to be respected. That also means, by the way, that you have to respect their adult choices because they've been adults a lot longer than you, and even if you think they're being really bad at it, it doesn't matter. Just let them do their thing, okay? If you're genuinely interested in telling someone our opinion in love, we have to have the right motives, and the other person has to feel safe in our presence. Obviously, physically safe, like don't be punching people in conversations, but also emotionally safe. If they feel attacked, they're going to become defensive. And then we're like, I just can't believe that they were upset when I was just trying to help them. Well, of course they're going to be defensive because we all are, right? And the road goes both ways. If someone is saying something to you and you feel attacked, it is not unloving to set a boundary and not participate in the conversation. Maybe you are being overly sensitive, and what that person is saying you need to hear. Or maybe you are being emotionally attacked and you need to walk away. But that's your job to find out. That's your job of knowing yourself deeply and walking with the Spirit of God to be like, am I overreacting? For me, usually the answer is yes. But maybe for you, you're just so cool, calm, and collected on the inside, and you just like have the right words to say all the time. And I love that for you. I, through trial and error and a lot of growth and therapy and making a lot of mistakes, kind of know where that line is. And now I'm like, now I have the ability to be like, can we pause this conversation for a minute? Because I'm feeling really activated. I'm feeling really stressed. And I'm not going to say something nice. So let's just skip it for now. It needs to be the right time, right? If your adrenaline is pumping and the choices are now or never, pick never. You're not usually going to say something nice. It's also not a good idea to criticize other people in front of other people. No one is going to receive that well and the right way. Like the idea of being an adult and the work of being a Christian is not to follow the golden rule. Everyone knows the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's in Matthew. It's like beautiful, plaques, delightful. It has its limits, okay? When I've had a hard day, I want to watch trash TV and eat snacks because snacks is my love language, and I want to go to bed. When Nova has a hard day, that's my 3-year-old almost, she needs to do something really physical and get the aggression out of her body. When my husband has a hard day, he wants to go on a walk and be left alone. It would be ridiculous if he was having a hard day and I was like, let me just snuggle you so hard. It would be ridiculous if to Nova I was like, oh, you've had a hard day. Do you want to watch Kitchen Nightmares? That's not loving. It's not going to feel loving. It's not what they need in the moment. But I'm just doing to others what I want done to me, right? No. This is the platinum rule. Do unto others as I have learned they want done to them. They might very well thrive under an environment we would suffer from. This is why true communication is at the heart of what it means to love people. Y'all can come back up. We do not love well when we behave according to what we want someone to be or who we assume they are. We love well when we understand who someone is and we behave according to who they are. That was a lot of words to say. Love the person in front of you, not the person you want them to be. Freedom is not abstract. It's very concrete. It's not a thought. It's not a belief. It is a deeply personal reality. We don't believe in freedom as some kind of mental faith construct that we can assent to or like reach somehow. We live freely. And we act in ways that free others. Soren Kierkegaard, who's a deeply influential and mostly impossible to understand philosopher. I once had a book of his in class, in seminary, and it was a tiny book, like maybe 50 pages and like this big. I did not make it through the first page without being like, what does that mean? Do you want to know what the first sentence of that book is? I've memorized it. I still don't know what it means. The self is a relation which relates to itself, or that in the relation which is its relating to itself. That's what I said. That's why I have that sentence memorized. I was like, I'm sorry, what? He said this, though, in one of the few times he was understood by the regular people of the world. The task is not to find lovable people. The task is to find the person before you lovable and to be able to continue finding them lovable no matter how much they change. Because that's what Jesus does for us. We stand before God and God's like, I love you. And we're like, well, have you met me? Or we're like, yes, you do love me. Have you met them? And Jesus is like, yes, I love you. And then you change a little, and Jesus is like, I love you. And then they change a little, and Jesus is like, I love you. And there's never an end to Jesus being like, I find you lovable. Everything about you. Even the parts you hate. Even the parts other people hate. Even the parts you're like, bleh. Even the parts you're going to have to deeply put a rein on in 4 days on Thanksgiving when you just want to fight with everyone. Jesus finds you lovable, and our task actually is not to convince people out of their beliefs. It's not to convince people that we are okay. It's not to change minds. It's not to proselytize. It's not to even evangelize. I was going to say evangelicalize. That's a different thing. It's none of that is our task. Our task is to actually just love people and find them lovable the way that Jesus does. And when you love people, then they can bloom. Even if you disagree with them, even if you think they're making the worst choice they've ever made in their lives, even if you think they believe the worst things that could possibly be believed on the planet, I promise you that's not true. They're still lovable to God, which means they are still lovable to us, and we have to find something about them that we can have a relationship with. And I'm obviously not talking about people who are like truly seeking to harm you. I think we're just too quick to be like, nope, you're out. Not you, not anymore. I don't have to deal with this. I just want what's best for you. But what's best for us is actually learning how to be wise with our words and how to be wise with our emotions and how to interact with people who we don't agree with. So we have 2 more songs. If you want to stand and sing with us, and then I will come back and give you a benediction. And we will go forth and not argue with our families.
Something is different about the way you talk to me. I'm used to my anxiety overriding everything. Something is happening. I've never known this kind of peace, 'cause I'd forgotten how to breathe. Now I am remembering. It's like dreaming for the first time. Suddenly, the mountains don't seem too high. I see my future in your eyes. What a miracle of the mind. It's like I'm safe for the first time. I can be myself. Don't have to hide. All the shit is gone. All the lies. What a miracle of the mind. Something is healing. I'm beginning to believe I am what you think of me. Oh, this changes everything. It's like dreaming for the first time. Suddenly, the mountains don't seem too high. I see my future in your eyes. What a miracle of the mind. It's like I'm safe for the first time. I can be myself. Don't have to hide. All the shame is gone. mind. What a miracle of the mind. Precious, oh, your thoughts are endless, full of love and kindness. Oh, your thoughts are so good for me, Jesus. What a conversation to hear the heart of heaven. I can hear it oh so clearly. It's like dreaming for the first time. Suddenly, the mountains don't seem too high. I see my future in your eyes. What a miracle of the mind. It's like I'm safe for the first time. I can be myself, don't have to hide. All the shame is gone, all the lies. What a miracle of the mind. 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 It's like dreaming for the first time. Suddenly, the mountains don't seem too high. I see my future in your eyes. What a miracle of the mind. It's like I'm safe for the first time. I can be myself, don't have to hide. All the shame is gone, all the lies. What a miracle of the mind. I can't see what's in front of me. Still I will trust you. Still I will trust you. Now I can't see what's in front of me. Still I will trust you. Still I will trust you. Steady heart that keeps on moving, steady love that keeps on moving. Lead me on. Steady grace that keeps forgiving, steady faith that keeps believing. Lead me on. is breaking. The light is breaking. Steady heart that keeps on going. Steady love that keeps on hoping. Lead me on. Steady grace that keeps forgiving. Steady faith that keeps believing. Lead me on. Steady heart that keeps on going. Steady love that keeps on hoping. Steady grace that keeps forgiving. Steady faith that keeps believing. Lead me on. As the dawn breaks and the clouds clear, and in open space, together we will rise.
Thanks for being here. Come to Love Food Central. They have delicious food. Also, last week I asked for questions. What are you all thinking about? About faith, God, the Bible, any topic or verse you have a question about, send it to me. You can do it on Instagram, Facebook, email. Just email hello@differentchurch.com, and that will come to me. Because we're going to make some messages based on what you want to hear about. I got some really great questions. So if you have questions, please send them. The ones I've gotten so far cover everything from like clobber passages to Zionism to the environment to is it okay to evangelize people and more. So very excited. Lying was one of them. My favorite. I realize that came out weird. Lying's my favorite. Don't tweet that. If you like what we're doing and you want to help us keep doing it, you can donate online or in the box on the back. Also, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't have a place to go and you need some food, I will feed you, but you will be subjected to my family. Just warning you. But the food will be good, I promise, because they're not cooking it. I'm cooking. Let's pray, and then we will go have a delightful day. Loved ones, do you remember when, as if by a sheer miracle, another person met your needs with kindness? Can you recall a time when you were able to offer what you had to help another who was in pain? What relief, what peace, What a sense of this is why we are here. Holy One, accompany us no matter our state of mind. Meet us no matter the quality of our mood. Give us courage when we feel like we might surrender to soul-draining patterns. And give us creativity when we feel stuck in our old ways. Come, Spirit of Christ, and live among us with wisdom and love blooming in our hearts. Amen.